What happens when absolute goodness collides with a world that rewards cunning? Have you ever witnessed someone's kindness being treated as weakness, their honesty as naivety? This is precisely the devastating experiment Fyodor Dostoevsky conducts in his masterpiece, The Idiot. Imagine standing in 19th century Russia, a society fracturing between tradition and modernity, faith and nihilism. In this turbulent landscape, Dostoevsky introduces Prince Myshkin, a character so pure, so transparently good that his very existence becomes an affront to everyone around him. The premise sounds almost like a cruel social experiment. What would happen if Christ-like goodness walked among us today? Dostoevsky's answer is merciless. It would be crushed. Myshkin refuses to lie, manipulate, or play the social games others consider essential. For this cardinal sin of authenticity, society labels him an idiot. What if the person society labels an idiot is actually the only one who truly sees? This is the fascinating paradox at the heart of Dostoevsky's masterpiece. Prince Myshkin, branded the idiot, actually perceives reality with crystal-clear vision. He's not blind to social rules, he sees right through them. But here's what's mind-blowing. His goodness isn't some naive accident, it's a deliberate choice. While everyone else plays games of manipulation and self-interest, Myshkin makes the radical decision to live in truth. A truth most people find absolutely unbearable. Have you ever been around someone so authentic that it made you uncomfortable? Because that's the Myshkin effect. When he enters a room, something electric happens. People feel exposed, vulnerable, confronted with everything they've compromised to survive in this cynical world. It's like having your soul's receipts read out loud. But why does his mere presence trigger such hostility? Because Myshkin is essentially a living mirror, reflecting back uncomfortable truths about everyone around him. Think about it. When someone refuses to participate in the collective game of manipulation, they don't just stand apart. They implicitly question everyone else's choices. His purity doesn't just make him different, it reveals. It strips away justifications. It whispers the uncomfortable question, what if there's another way to live? So I ask you, who's really the idiot here? The man who sees clearly and chooses goodness? Or those who've blinded themselves to maintain the comfortable fiction that this is just how the world works? Dostoevsky's genius lies in creating a character who embodies Christian ideals of compassion and forgiveness, then dropping him like a truth bomb into 19th century Russian society. The resulting chaos is both heartbreaking and illuminating. Consider how Myshkin's interactions with Nastasia Filipovna and Rogozhin reveal the destructive power dynamics at play. While others view Nastasia through the lens of her fallen status, Myshkin sees only her wounded humanity. His compassion isn't condescending, it's revolutionary. This begs a deeper question for us today. Do we truly value honesty and goodness, or merely their appearance? Our culture claims to celebrate authenticity, yet we're constantly filtering, editing, and curating versions of ourselves that will be acceptable to others. Perhaps what makes Myshkin's character so unsettling is how foreign his moral courage feels in our compromise-filled lives. He doesn't just expose others' hypocrisies, he exposes our own. His refusal to play the game reveals how much of our identity is tied up in performing rather than being. The true brilliance of Dostoevsky's work is showing that Myshkin's idiocy comes with tremendous cost. His commitment to truth makes him vulnerable to exploitation. His inability to navigate the labyrinth of social expectations leads to suffering. Yet, somehow, amidst the wreckage, his fundamental goodness remains uncompromised, which invites the ultimate question: is living truthfully worth the price? Or have we collectively decided that the cost of seeing clearly, speaking honestly, and loving unconditionally is simply too high? The response of society to nonconformists is a chilling cycle that unfolds with alarming predictability. Initially, there's an attempt to fix those who don't fit the mold. This is often rooted in a desire to maintain the status quo, a collective fear of what happens when someone dares to challenge the norms. But when these efforts fail, society shifts gears, resorting to ridicule. Nonconformists become the subjects of mockery, their differences highlighted as flaws, leading to further alienation. Take Myshkin, for instance. His journey is not merely a reflection of his intelligence or lack thereof. It illustrates the profound discomfort his authenticity stirs in others. Myshkin's very presence disrupts a carefully constructed social illusion, one that insists cynicism and conformity are necessary for survival. Dostoevsky, in his brilliance, captures this conflict without romanticizing it. He doesn't offer the audience a comforting resolution. Instead, he magnifies the existential struggle faced by those who dare to remain true to themselves. This conflict resonates beyond literary themes, echoing in real life. History is replete with examples of individuals who challenged societal norms and faced dire consequences. Figures like Socrates, who questioned the very foundations of his society, were met with hostility and ultimately punishment. In contemporary times, activists and innovators often find themselves in similar predicaments. Their ideas, which could lead to progress and change, are frequently met with skepticism or outright hostility. The psychological underpinnings of this societal response stem from a deep-seated fear of change. When someone dares to be authentic, they force others to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and their beliefs. This disruption can breed resentment, leading society to push back against those who challenge the norm. The consequences of this response are far-reaching, stifling creativity, and limiting the diversity of thought that is essential for societal growth. Reflecting on these dynamics prompts a deeper examination of our own experiences with conformity and nonconformity. Have you ever felt the pressure to fit in, to silence your true self? Conversely, when you embraced your individuality, how did it feel? These moments of reflection can illuminate the power of authenticity and the importance of fostering an environment where diversity of thought is celebrated rather than suppressed. Ultimately, the struggle of the nonconformist serves as a powerful reminder of the cost of authenticity in a world that often values conformity. By acknowledging and embracing our differences, we can pave the way for a more inclusive society that thrives on innovation and progress, rather than one that clings to outdated norms. In a world where the digital realm often dictates our reality, The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky serves as a hauntingly relevant reflection of our times. The novel, with its exploration of authenticity versus societal expectations, resonates deeply in an era dominated by social media, where the curated image often overshadows the genuine self. Imagine this. In Dostoevsky's Russia, society's rejection of nonconformists was a matter of whispered disdain and overt exclusion. Today, the mechanisms have evolved, but the essence remains alarmingly similar. Social media platforms, while ostensibly spaces for connection, have transformed into arenas where life is performed and authenticity becomes a liability. The pressure to present a flawless existence is relentless, fostering anxiety and disconnect. Consider the phenomenon of vulnerability in the digital age. In Dostoevsky's world, vulnerability was a weakness to be exploited. Today, it is often met with the same ruthless disregard, if not amplified, by the viral nature of online interactions. Transparency, once a virtue, is now mistaken for weakness, a flaw to be corrected or hidden. The Idiot challenges us to confront uncomfortable truths about our society. It asks, if society rejects purity, what does it truly value? If being authentic leads to destruction, who is really at fault? These questions pierce the heart of our modern condition, urging us to examine the systems that reward manipulation over integrity. Yet, amidst these challenges, there is hope. By acknowledging the timeless struggles depicted in The Idiot, we can strive to create spaces where authenticity is valued and vulnerability is met with compassion rather than judgment. In doing so, we might just begin to dismantle the systems that crush those who dare to be true to themselves. In essence, The Idiot is not merely a story of the past, but a mirror to our modern world, urging us to reflect on our values and aspirations. It invites us to envision a society where integrity and authenticity are not just ideals, but lived realities. Dostoevsky's The Idiot is not a story that offers easy answers or tidy resolutions. Instead, it casts us into a moral labyrinth a place where the lines between sanity and madness, kindness and foolishness, are blurred and constantly shifting. The novel challenges us to grapple with the complexities of human existence and the societal structures that shape our choices. At its core, the story of Myshkin is not just about one man's fate, but about the values upon which we've built our world. When society labels those who refuse to play along as idiots, it raises profound questions about the nature of collective judgment. What does it reveal about us when we dismiss someone for daring to remain true to themselves? Is it Myshkin who is the fool, or is it a world that values cunning over kindness and strategy over sincerity? Dostoevsky's genius lies in his refusal to simplify these questions. He doesn't tell us whether Myshkin's unwavering authenticity makes him a saint or a fool. Instead, he leaves us to navigate this moral ambiguity on our own, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truth that the answers may not be clear, and that the act of questioning itself is the most important part. Myshkin's tragedy is not accidental. It is the inevitable result of a world structured to reward manipulation and punish honesty. His downfall is not a flaw inherent to his character, but a consequence of a society that views nonconformity as a threat. In this sense, The Idiot is not just a story about Myshkin. It is a reflection of the values we collectively uphold and the choices we make as a society. When we dismiss someone like Myshkin, we reveal more about ourselves than we realize. We expose a fear of vulnerability, a discomfort with truth, and a preference for illusion over reality. But perhaps the most disturbing aspect of Myshkin's story is that his fate is not unique. In a world that often equates success with compromise, his tragedy becomes a cautionary tale, one that asks us to examine the cost of our collective values and the price we pay for maintaining them. In the end, The Idiot invites us to step back and reconsider what we truly value. Is it the ability to navigate social norms with ease, or is it the courage to remain authentic in the face of adversity? As we grapple with these questions, we are reminded that the moral labyrinth is not just a fictional construct. It is the world we inhabit, and the choices we make will determine the kind of society we ultimately create. At its core, The Idiot poses a profound and unsettling question. Is corruption truly inevitable, or is there another way to live? One that doesn't require sacrificing our essential humanity? Myshkin's journey becomes a mirror to this inquiry, asking whether it's possible to navigate a world that rewards manipulation and deceit without losing sight of what it means to be truly human. In many ways, Myshkin's story parallels that of messianic figures, those who embody a radical vision of compassion and integrity, challenging the status quo not through force, but through the quiet power of their goodness. His kindness isn't just a personality trait, it's a direct rebuke to the systems that normalize exploitation and cruelty. He refuses to compromise his principles, even when it costs him everything. This is why Myshkin's story is so unsettling. It forces us to confront the possibility that our current systems, built on greed, power, and the constant need to conform, are fundamentally flawed. His existence disrupts the illusion that the world must be as it is, reminding us that there's another way to live, one rooted in empathy and authenticity. Ultimately, Myshkin's journey challenges us to ask whether we can build a world that doesn't require people to surrender their humanity to survive. His tragedy isn't just his own. It's a reflection of the larger societal failure to embrace the values he represents. In this sense, his story is a call to action, a reminder that, while the world may seem broken, the possibility of change lies within us all. Thank you for watching. In a world that often crushes purity, who is the real idiot? Is it the one who dares to question the norm, or those who blindly accept the status quo? Reflect on Dostoevsky's profound inquiry, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective on authenticity versus conformity in today's society. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insightful content exploring the depths of human experience and societal norms. Until next time, keep questioning the world around you, challenge the conventions that no longer serve us, and embrace the courage to be true to yourself. Together, we can foster a more thoughtful and compassionate society. See you in the next video.